Hello, good evening. So this video I'm going to focus on something that's only marginally related to the topic of ADHD, but is just as important because it's a more universal topic. This is something that has to do with one's expectation, how do you achieve happiness? And I want to start the video with the idea of remember in the United States Declaration of Independence, there is a phrase that calls for unalienable rights for the people's pursuit of happiness. Just pay attention to that phrase exactly. A country does not grant happiness to its citizen. It only grants people the right to have the pursuit of happiness. So that really means it is your job to pursue it. Happiness is not given to you, nor can it be given to you, because happiness is a state of mind and it cannot be granted or implanted. You have to go after it yourself. And I want to mention something about parenting and the pursuit of happiness. If you think about it, fundamentally, all parents, they really just want one thing for themselves and for their children. They want their children to be happy. And you love them and you want them to be happy. But the most frustrating aspect of being a parent is that you cannot just simply give your children happiness. You can try giving them money, but that doesn't make them happy. I think we all know that by now. In fact, I will argue the more money you can give to children, the less happy they're likely to become. So, how do you do that? So, parents, first of all, I have to learn this lesson the hard way, meaning that no matter how hard I want something for my son, because I know having that experience or having that skill can make it easier in the process of pursuing happiness, I cannot make it happen. He really has to want it for himself. And parents, you just have to swallow your pride, swallow your hope and fears, and just basically try to lead by an example, try to be a good role model. But you cannot want something for your children if they don't want it for themselves. You can give them the opportunity to be exposed to these things, but you can't really make them want it. In fact, I will argue in the process of trying to give them happiness or shove it down our throats, you can actually make life miserable, not only for your children, but for yourself too, because you want something for them that they don't want, and you try to make it happen anyway, or coerce them or bribe them, and they end up either not wanting it or just going through the motion because they want to please you. At the end, they won't be happy, and you won't be happy too. Most likely, you'll be disappointed. Another aspect is the role reversal is that if you, as the child, try to please your parents because you think that I can do something to please them, to make them happy, I think all children are inherently biologically designed to do that to some extent. But ultimately, that is not going to work either because if it is your parents' job to make themselves happy, it is not your job. You cannot make them happy. You can't make your children happy. You cannot make your parents happy. You can try to conform to the same principles or rules, but when those are in conflict with your own, then usually it's much better off to pursue your own happiness because even if you try to live to someone else's expectation, in the process, you're likely to make yourself less happy because these are not your ideas, not your ideals. So Each person is responsible for his or her own happiness. No one else can get it for you, and you can't give it to anyone else. All right, with that, good night.